I'm Dana Shagru with CE AgWorld Greenhouse Produce, an innovative brand that engages with the rapidly expanding global greenhouse produce industry through a variety of platforms. Our mission is to educate and connect greenhouse produce growers and industry allies to help them better understand and sustainably advance the global food industry. On this episode of CE Ag Talks, I'll be speaking with Emily Andes, Manager of Research and Innovation at Bushel Boy Farms in Owatonna, Minnesota. Emily, welcome to CE Ag Talks.
Hi, Dana. Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me.
We're happy to have you. Today, we'll be talking about diversifying your crops in CEA and how to do it. But before we get into our conversation, Emily, can you please tell us a little bit more about what you do at Bushel Boy Farms?
Sure. So I started here at Bushel Boy when this company was acquired by our parent company about 5 years ago. And I was hired to help with everything that was related to research and innovation. And right in the beginning, there was already a plan of growing strawberries. So I kind of got into trying to figure it out, everything that we needed for that crop.
Yeah, I did read that you spearheaded the launch of strawberries at Bushel Boy, which was the first non-tomato crop there. Can you tell us a little bit more about why you did that and how it led you to grow other crops?
Sure. So at that time, we had very experienced tomato growers at Bushel Boy, 2 or 3 growers, and they had a lot of experience on that crop and not actually no experience on strawberries. And I was hired to help with research and innovation. And I also didn't have experience with growing strawberries before, but it was a very nice opportunity for me to learn because I was able to kind of just research and try to find everything that we needed for the crop. We are lucky, like super lucky to have this consultant that from the Netherlands that kind of gave us all the details, everything that we needed. It's a very different system that what you have in tomatoes. So I was guided with this, everything possible from what we needed from a technology standpoint, and we just went from there. And the growers also started learning as it's just a different crop. So, and I was never the grower, but always kind of assisting everything that they needed, and that's how the strawberry started.
So, before you began, did you already know that strawberries would work in your existing facility at Bushel Boy Farms?
There was an information that consultant brought to us. It is very easy to plant tomatoes in a strawberry greenhouse, but it's not very easy to do the opposite. So we built a new greenhouse for the strawberries. The detail of the gutters is something kind of easy to understand. In a tomato greenhouse, the sprayer boom, it's a vertical boom, so it goes through the rows and all the gutters are connected to the ground. And then the strawberry, the sprayer boom, it's horizontal and it kind of covers the whole bay. So the gutters are connected from the ceiling, so you can't really have all these obstacles in the greenhouse. And when I say a sprayer, it doesn't mean that we spray a lot. We actually don't, but there is the one problem that is the biggest challenge on the strawberries, one of the biggest, which is powder mildew. And then there's a very good product that's a biological that we use, but it's still a spray, and we need a sprayer. So that's what one of the main reasons that's complicated to do strawberries in a tomato greenhouse. So at that time, we also didn't have any tomato area that we could give out because we're also expanding the tomato area, and it was just easier to just build the strawberry greenhouse.
Yeah, that project sounds like it was no easy undertaking. So kudos to you for figuring all of that out.
It was kind of fun. It was a nice opportunity for me because I was growing as we were growing, basically. And the whole team was growing together, and the consultant helped a lot.
That sounds great. How many different crops then do you grow at Bushel Boy Farms now?
So we have tomatoes, as it's our kind of core business and legacy that we have been growing for more than 30 years. And then strawberry was the first expansion. And then the third one was cucumbers. And then we had peppers expansion. And we are also doing trials in different crops like raspberries, blackberries, basil. But did you ask how many varieties or just how many crops, how many types of vegetables?
How many different crops? Yes. And then I also know that you offer like 12 different types of tomatoes, maybe even more than that now.
Yes. So when we say type, it's the beef steak, TOV, cocktail, grape, cherry. So those are kind of 5 different types that we grow. And then in each one of those types, we do have at least 2 varieties that we grow. So we kind of have 10 or 12 varieties within the tomatoes. And then the cucumbers, we grow long English, mini cucumbers, baby cucumbers, also about 2 varieties per type. And then strawberries, just the one variety, but we are always trialing different varieties. It's just that the one that we grow, we really like it. So we kind of stick to the what we know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this kind of leads me into my next question is why do you think it makes sense to expand or add more to the varieties that you offer from a business perspective?
It's basically what I have already mentioned about having this amazing kind of base of clients that we have, and they know us very well. We're in Minnesota, and we have the Twin Cities. It's these people just know Bushel Boy as very high quality produce, and we have this high flavor, product that everyone goes and they know Bushel Boy. It's kind of their backyard, and people probably feel like they are buying something at home and fresh. And so it's just kind of exploring that market because our sales department, the minute that they identified, well, we already have all this retailers and customers that could be buying basically anything else, whatever we'll offer. It's been this brand name, it has been made, and it's plus 30 years plus that it's been there, and it's just an opportunity to keep growing as we are very welcomed, let's say, with our customers.
Yes, I've actually had the chance to speak with Chuck, and I've heard the same thing, and it's a great company for sure.
Yes. Yes.
My next question for you is, when do you know it's time to diversify your crop selection?
It kind of all goes into the same direction, right? You have the market, you know that you can offer more, and you're ready to grow. And we just kind of we always kind of start small, and then we do a few rows of a trial of a variety or something or a different crop, and then we do kind of a couple of bays, and then we do half of a greenhouse. And it's about kind of trying to identify where is the market leading us, what do they need, and what can we do to serve better and better. And that's how we've been growing, always just trying to find that what's needed out there, because we basically we have an amazing growing team. We have Roberto Ramirez, our head grower, and he's basically can grow anything possible. And that's how we did with the cucumbers. And just getting to that other question that you asked about. So the strawberries was not an easy one because we had to do a different greenhouse for the crop, but cucumbers being a high wire crop, much easier to adapt into a tomato greenhouse. Matter of fact, he never even asked me to research or try to find how do we do cucumbers, because he had a lot of experience on his previous companies that he worked, and he just knew exactly what to do. And I wasn't heavily involved into that beginning of the cucumbers because you can just basically grow in the same area that you have your tomatoes. And it was also a very nice break for the virus, right? That's when you're doing rotation, and then you take your tomato crop and put something that's not susceptible to that virus, and then you kind of clean for a couple of years, and then you can go back with your tomatoes. Because for us going with the tomatoes, I mean, it's just so important to have the tomato product available, because that's what we are known for this many years. And with all these other crops, it's all new for the market. So yeah, it's kind of nice how the strawberries was one way and the cucumbers a little easier because of the way that the greenhouses are already set for the crop.
Well, that really leads me into my next question, which I know you were able to build a new greenhouse for the strawberries. But for other growers, would you say, is there a way to grow a new crop or a crop variety without disrupting operations that are currently going on at a farm or a greenhouse?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think that anyone can basically start their trials within their crops, right? Like you can just have a couple of roles assigned for, you do need a lot of data collection when you're doing these trials because you do really want to prove that that new crop that you're trying to develop is as profitable or more profitable than what you already have. So you can have small trials in any corner possible, and that's what we kind of do here. Sometimes we have challenges like we need to lower gutter because there's a panel that you can't open the door. And I just go and I put some pots of basil or something, and then I start testing something else. But that means that yeah, I can basically any grower can do. And I said it's not easy to do a strawberry crop into tomatoes, but it's possible. I visited a greenhouse in Ontario not long ago that gave us some new ideas that we can have this base of, you know, like the tomatoes, you have the 5 rows, and then the distance that you have from one to the next, you can actually put an extra one in the middle. You can put 3 extra rows, and then you have in kind of elevated, because the strawberries is a little bit different with the picking too, but it's possible. Everything is possible. It's just how much you spend and into whatever you want to invest. And if it makes more sense to build a different building or just convert the whole building, maybe. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for answering that.
For sure. Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, thank you again for taking the time to speak with me and joining me on this episode of CE Ag Talks. And we're excited you'll be joining us in Raleigh for our event.
Thank you so much for having me, Dana. Super excited to be there too. Thanks a lot.